I said, what if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love? What if I knew only the truth? What if my mind accepted everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. Oh, Mother, Father, Spirit, guide us from above. Our sons and daughters look to us to show them love. Come, sisters, brothers, let's hold hands and sing as one, that we will be what we've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within the Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. Yes, we're gonna be what we've come here to be. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? Love. What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I did? What if I said? What if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His Spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole? What if my heart opened to everything with love?
Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
So are we good? Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I think we are. Yay!
You can hear?
I love it. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, thank you. Just checking in since, you got to hear us singing last time. I was just checking in to make sure we weren't singing out loud again.
I mean, the sound gods always fighting us.
Yes.
The video and sound gods, if there's such a thing.
I wonder what that is. We really have to do some metaphysical journeying on why we have such technology issues.
I know. What is it all about?
So I don't know. And the thing is, we have very different technology on different occasions, and so it's not just like one thing. It's different things.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Timelines
It
or
really
something.
is an
Weird.
interesting thing. So
Yeah, but we're good today. We're
We
here. I'm making my coffee,
there you go.
and that's going to make everything better.
everything better. So
But
last
it's in our mugs too.
there you go.
Everything tastes better out of it.
Yeah, I cheers you, but that is pretty high up there, that coffee. I didn't want it
It's
going all over you.
So this Friday and Saturday, one of my communities had a yard sale, and there was a sign that said, "The day begins after coffee." And she said, "You can have it." And so now it sits on my desk, right?
Yes, it's a
just
fair warning.
It's a fair.
It's a fair warning for others.
Right.
Yes, I'm awake after my coffee. The time to talk to me is after my coffee.
Okay. Andy says it's echoing. Are we echoing?
Is it true? This might just be a little loud. So
Are we echoing? No,
Oh,
that's
good.
you
That's
messed
good.
with it.
Don't touch it.
Oh, you messed mine too. How could I make us both do that?
That's hysterical.
Check.
Check.
Don't touch it.
Okay. It still sounds echoey to me too.
I'll have to lower it.
Okay.
Check. How's that? True. It was too loud before, I think.
How's that? Amy
Not doing
or
anything.
Krista, can you tell us?
Check. Okay, lower it.
Oh,
Okay,
volume here.
Check.
Are we better now?
Check 1, 2. Better? True says
Now
that.
I'm off.
Can you hear me? Check. Can you hear us through this? I can hear it through this. Try yours.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. This is the newest edition of our little microphones.
Yes.
We're figuring it all out.
Oh, Lordy.
But thanks for everyone being here. We love everyone being here. And if you're coming in person today, it's awesome. We also have our workshop after our time together today at 12:30. So if you are a church club partner, you are welcome to join us for that. And if you are not, you're welcome to join us for that. It's a $45 love offering, which makes you a member for a month anyway. Might as well become a member for the month and you get the mug and the workshop. I mean, it's a win-win. And
Definitely.
it gives me a chance to practice my workshop for the Anthem Retreat, which is kind of fun.
Okay, so we're going to tell you where we are and then we'll tell you about other stuff, okay? So first, I asked her bossy.
Now I love it.
So first we are here at the Unleash Your Life Studios, 7220 North 16th Street, between Glendale and Northern in Phoenix, Arizona, 85020. If you are on your way, we'll see you soon.
Yay.
And if you're not and you're online, thank you for being online. I got people online talking to us, so always a
You're
blessing.
never late, so just come on over.
Exactly.
Come on over. You'll receive what's yours to receive. It's fine.
Absolutely. And you can always listen to us later too. We understand. We are both heading to a conference that Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington's already at, and it starts tomorrow. And we are so excited. Once a year, we leave for a week. We go to Kansas City. Actually, we go to Lee's Summit, which is where Unity Village is. And if you have never made that journey, do it. Absolutely do it. It is an amazing, awesome, spiritual place that just has, like I have gotten on so that has such a presence and energy. And now all three of the archives for New Thought are there. So we have Unity, Science of Mind Archives, and the International New Thought Affiliation.
So amazing.
Archives are there. Yeah, and I hear there's going to be a scavenger hunt.
Oh, I like
based on that archive. So
yeah, that'd be very fun.
And I think so. And of course, the Labyrinth lover that I am, I will be holding space for the Labyrinth on Tuesday night. My partner and I and Reverend Jim Dickey, we will be setting up for the Labyrinth and then holding space.
To me, that is, I missed it last year because I came in later. And so it was on Tuesday night, I came in Wednesday instead. This year I'm going for the entire retreat, but it is the most beautiful experience. It's a Labyrinth. If you look at last year, the year before, I know we posted it at night. It's at night, all lit up with candles. It's the most beautiful, sacred experience. And I'm so excited to get to be in that this year and that you're setting it up.
I am so happy. We had, thanks to Cerise and her husband who donated these beautiful tokens for us to give out. And also Reverend Jen, who works at Unity Village, also got our pamphlets printed to kind of give an idea of what the Labyrinth is and how you can journey through it. So we really wanted to make it an experiential, experience time period for people who might not have known. And this year on Tuesday, they have the whole campus opened up to locals.
It's going to be wild.
It's going to be wild. It is so going to be wild. So look for lives here on our Facebook page, and I don't know if we'll get on YouTube or not, but I know we'll get on Facebook.
We're going to be doing it. Yeah, in the Sofa Sundays group. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be posting live in there.
Yes, you will see us then.
So. Right, yeah, we're doing there's a big concert with Ricky Byers, which is going to be a phenomenal experience also on Tuesday night.
On Tuesday night.
Follow that with the
Labyrinth. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Tuesday is an amazing time period.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very
so
exciting.
Look for us. We'll be there. All right. Well, with all of that, I guess we should
without further ado.
Do you want to pray us?
I can do that.
Okay.
Yes, it'll be me. With that beautiful sound of the chime, let's take a deep breath in, grounding ourselves as we release into this present moment, into this sacred space, this time together. Letting go of anything that has happened already this morning, any thoughts in our minds, we're just going to let those go. And anything we know coming after our time together, we're letting that go too. We know that it will be there. We can pick it right back up later, but right now, this is our time. This is our space. This is our moment. And we come into it fully aware that there's one power, one presence, one energy. That is God, that is Spirit, the divine. And this energy, this power that is in, as, and through everything is love, is creativity, is joy, is peace. It is all there is. And because I know that's true, I know that that's all we can be made of. It's this magical, sparkly, like Jamie likes to say, God stuff. We're made of that creativity. We're made of that love, that joy, that peace. We are that in human form. And so for our time today, I speak my word into the law, knowing that as I do the law, God says yes, only says yes. So as we allow ourselves to be in this moment, as we allow ourselves to let go of anything other than this present time, I know that we open our hearts, we open our minds, we allow the teaching, the sharing, the laughter, the connection to flow between us. We receive what is ours to receive, and we let go of anything else. I'm so grateful for this time together. I send blessings out to all teachers, all leaders, seeing them divinely guided, seeing them full of love, seeing them express our oneness in peace, in unity, in joy. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for our time. I'm grateful for these truths that have been spoken. And so I let them go, know and trust that they are already manifest in the mind of God. And together we say, and so it is.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Oh, there we go. I love today's topic. Well, this month is.
Yes.
Let me get out my little.
This month with its creativity and expression,
Yes.
right?
Perfect month. Perfect month because
Yes.
we ended costumes in October, so I love it.
And that was not planned. It just
Yeah, but it's a perfect month for creativity and expression.
coming out of all this heat.
Absolutely.
It's cool in the morning now.
I had somebody that actually said they were cold this morning.
It
because
was cold.
62.
I didn't know what to do with myself. I put a sweatshirt on.
I was like, dang, I might
I
have
was
to
so
get a
happy.
sweater. I don't know. Since I'm leaving at butt crack 30 in the morning
Me
tomorrow.
too.
Yeah, I'll have a sweater on because it'll be cold. Yeah, so very different. And usually by Halloween, we are in sweater weather.
Sweater.
Sweater weather. Oh, I love a good sweater weather.
Sweater.
So there you go.
Oh my gosh, you just never know where we're gonna go on.
Yeah, I didn't know we were going to go Saturday
I
Night
didn't know
Live.
we were doing that either. Didn't know. I just let you
Didn't know.
be.
We just-
Sometimes I just follow you along.
There we go. That's just where we go.
But the creativity, I have been experiencing a lot of creativity, and when I'm in that space, I feel the most like myself.
Absolutely.
I feel the most of me. I've been writing this speech that
Right.
I'm giving, and I was going through my kids, and I was thinking about Lyric, how creative. She's always expressed creativity. All of my kids are creative because we are all creative. She tends to express it even more, and I remember her being little girl, little like this, and I don't know if you remember this with Savannah, but you would get outfits for them, right? Like little girls, they have cute little outfits, like a little shirt that matches the little skirt, and they have little socks, and maybe a little headband, and everything kind of goes together, and it's this cutest little thing, right? So I had these little sets for her, really cool. And one day I come into her room, and she's already taken a piece from 3 different sets and made a new outfit. My first thought was, oh no, that just wipes out 3 outfits. What am I supposed like that just takes 3 outfits out of her wardrobe, and I need all of like no. And then I'm looking at her like, and I said, Lyric, no, that goes with this goes with that. She goes, oh, then I like it. I like it like this. And if you remember her being that little, she talked like a Disney princess. So she always had this, oh, I love it though, Mommy, look at my, and then she'd go like this, and look at me, and she's so happy. And I was not happy. So I was not even thinking about her creativity. I wasn't thinking of anything other than you just wiped out 3 outfits. I only have so many outfits for you, and I need you to. And I was like literally like trying to get her to get out of it because I wanted to put it back and then pick an outfit and this whole thing. And she got, and I remember her just being so like adamant about it. No, this is my outfit. And it took me a minute. In fact, this sounds horrible to repeat this, but I think I actually did kind of get her out of the one. I got her into just one, and she was crying. She was upset the whole time because she really wanted to wear this thing that she created. And I wasn't thinking this way. And her dad was taking her them to school, and as she's walking out with him, she's crying. So I'm sending this cutest little, what was she, only 4 years old, out the door. She's crying because I had destroyed this outfit that she created. And I get back in there, I was going to put them together, and I thought, what is wrong with you? She's 4. Like, who cares if it didn't match all the way? Actually, what's weird, they did match in an odd way. Like, the way she put them together, it was like, that actually did kind of go. I don't know how that happened, only for her. If I tried that, this is why you'll see me mostly in salts, because no.
Yes, we know.
I can't do that. Yeah, or in a one piece. If it's got, I say this in my talk tomorrow, like, in a one piece, I'm good with pattern, but don't do this to me in multiple like parts of an outfit. So I ran out to the car with the other pieces. I ran to the car. She's crying. I knock on the van door to have her dad open up the door, and I said, "Look," I said, "Hang on a second." I said, "Come here." And she's like, "What?" And I said, "Come on, let's put your outfit back on." And she said, "Okay." She gets all this. Thank you, mommy. Thank you, mommy. And I'm like, "Okay, all right." You know, I just barely saved the day, and I get her all this outfit. And
But you were the one that was ruining it.
I did ruin it. I did. But by the grace of God, I had a moment of clarity.
Oh.
Gosh, because I was such a stickler about certain things, you know, just like, no, it is like this. Like, there's no room for that.
Right.
There was no room for her to express. And thank God I saw that in that moment. And thank God she demanded. Like, thank God she held her ground. And it took me a little bit to see it, but thank God she protested, because that's how I saw that. And as most of you know her today, she's the artist of this piece that we have here. She's an artist of, her room is full of artwork that she herself has created. She constantly is creating. And so that's just her, like, we're all that spirit. And some part in our life, someone has told us that, no, that outfit doesn't go right, or this isn't right, and then that gets shut down. And if you don't have someone like me running back, I go, wait a minute, hold on a second, let me fix it. It might have gotten stuck there, you know. But the truth is that we are all creative. You can't not be. So people say, oh, I'm not really creative. I'm not. Like, no, you are. Maybe it's not in an art piece. You can be creative in finding a solution that no one else thought of. You can be creative in, you know, just thinking outside the box. It doesn't have to be art like this. We're so multifaceted, but our topic of today is my creativity blesses and transforms the world. And you can see that everywhere in our smartphones and our just the funky things that we have, the fun little things that we get to experience. It's somebody's idea of being creative and allowing that to flow through them.
Yes.
So you may have had an experience as a child with a mom like me, and some of that got stunted there. But I encourage you to look back, where was that, and start again. Allow yourself to be the truth of who you are. You're already so amazing and creative, and the world is blessed when we express that of ourselves.
Absolutely. You know, I think of 2020 as being the year that a lot of people had that come alive for them, because we weren't allowed to leave our house, right? So we're stuck in our house, and so much stuff came online. Mm-hmm. And through Zoom and different online mediums. And I know for myself, I took several art classes. I took an art class that, I can't think of the artist's name now, but he is an artist who cuts paper to make things. And I don't believe he's alive anymore, but somebody else trained in his vein, taught the class. And that was so much fun. Like, that was something different that I hadn't done, you know. And then there were speaking classes and writing classes and yoga and I just, you know, and it was all free. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Right. And, you know, you're talking about like with littles, so when Savannah was young, we lived in Georgia, and we had this great apartment, and I let her color on the walls. I don't know why, because I'm that parent. And my husband kept saying, "What are you going to do when we move?" Right? Because we were in the Navy, we were always moving, right? We were always moving. But we also colored on the walls. Like her bedroom, I painted in Disney murals. Note to self: putting Little Mermaid and the Sea Witch at 8 foot tall on your 2-year-old's bedroom will keep her from sleeping there.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yes.
I mean, that's not a good idea.
Sleeping there.
Yeah, so she slept in our room, but it was a great room because I really
And the lights.
Yes, I really loved doing Disney murals, and I did them on several of the children's different things. You know, so I have always been that person when it comes to. Even when I was younger, I painted the swan in my mother's bathroom in an apartment that we were at when I worked at Sherwin-Williams. So I worked at a paint store, so I always had paint. And so I was always painting something, whether it was just because I wanted to change the color of something or, you know. So for me, color has always been a part of my life in some way, shape, or form. Which is funny now that I wear so much color because I didn't used to wear it. I went to Catholic school, so I was in a uniform. I've had jobs where generally I've been in a uniform or, you know, some type of look, right? I'm in, for anybody who doesn't know me outside of Sofa Sundays, I wear khaki pants and a polo on a regular basis and have for like over 20 years. That's my Monday through Friday look. And so now there's a bigger expression for me. But again, it came through 2020. Prior to the shutdown of the world, I was actually trying to minimize my jewelry. There was actually a point where I put, I know, it's hard to believe, but I put it all out and I took some pictures and I took some video and I was sending it to like my niece and my daughter and my sisters and saying, who wants this? I'm tired of all this jewelry. And I also stopped wearing makeup and I only had one pair of glasses.
What?
And I know.
It's a terrible time.
This is a terrible time, 2020. And then the world shuts down and I'm like in this depression and I had already gone through some cancer situation in 2019 and like so, and then something like strikes me that I don't know, like a friend starts selling this jewelry, and so because she started selling this $5 jewelry and I would watch her lives on Facebook, I started buying and buying and buying because it couldn't go anywhere. And then my niece got these really cool glasses online, so I started getting new glasses online. And then, you know, so by the end of 2020, I had like $1 million worth of $5 jewelry and 16 pairs of glasses. And, you know, like color has now come, and I'm wearing makeup again. And oh, that was the other thing, because Nicole Jordan got some kind of lipstick that was like, an old-fashioned red. It was gorgeous. So then I started getting these lipsticks as well.
Yes.
So like everything came back and my world became color again. And to me, that like opened up the creative expression, you know. And so now I was writing and I was doing the art stuff and like, but it took that, just this tiny little, okay, I'll buy some jewelry, you know, and then it just like snowballed for sure. And now, like, look, I have pink in my hair. I mean, like, yeah, it's crazy.
Wild.
It's wild and crazy.
I know. But it's interesting, all of our journeys around being co-creators with spirit, you know, allowing that to move through you. We often stop our creativity. We second guess it. We listen to our ego talk about how, you know, what are they going to think about you? Who are you to do that or try that or say that or whatever, you know, like, or you didn't do it the standard way.
Oh, that'll stop you in
Right.
a heartbeat. You're not
Right.
doing it the way you're supposed
That's
to.
it. That's it.
The
Right.
shoulds.
The shoulds will kill
Yeah.
creativity every time.
Every time.
And so it takes a lot of awareness and to kind of snap out of that, to kind of notice when that's happening so you can still move forward in your creativity, because that's God expressing through you.
Right.
God creates through you. You're the instrument of creation. Like that's how the flow works. So when you're stopping that, what are you stopping exactly?
Right.
You're stopping, if Lyric never painted this, we wouldn't have that. She'd stop the joy of others seeing it or us wanting it for our ministry
Right.
or us
And our colors
talking
might have
about
been
it.
different.
I know our colors would have been different. We would have pulled different colors. You never know the ripple effect that you have through what you create and the people that you're going to affect and how it's going to help them. How many times have you listened to a song that you swear was written for you and your circumstance, and that one song, I hear people say this all the time, oh, this song got me through X, Y, Z.
Right.
This is the reason I'm still here, because that song, gave me the strength to keep going or whatever. That's somebody else created that will never meet you or know what that song did for you. It was their creativity or their working through whatever is going on for them and creating out of that. And now it blesses so many other people. Thank God nobody told them to stop or don't do it or that song's that's not a good one to put on the album. Like, no, I'm going to do it. Follow your own inner guidance and what God is having you do. Sometimes it seems ridiculous. It seems like it goes against the phrase. It seems like that.
You're talking about songs and getting through, and a song that shouldn't work but does for me is "Pump Up the Jam," and it's got like one line, and it's "Pump Up the Jam." And maybe I think there's
remember.
I think there's like 3 lines, but it's 5 minutes long.
Yes.
And
That's a very long song.
it's a very long song, but it makes me move in the morning when I have an elliptical / bike, right? So if I put on Pump, and it's like the first song on my 80s workout songs, and I put on Pump Up the Jam, I watch it go down in, from the 5 minutes, 12 seconds that it is. I know I can do it on the elliptical. I do 15 minutes total, and then I sit down and do the bike. But this is what gets my body moving. And if I can still sing while doing it, I'm not doing it well enough. That's my thing. So like I have to like, oh, I'm still singing. Okay, maybe I need to move a little quicker, So that song gets me moving in the morning, right? So it's not, I don't want to be up first thing we get on the elliptical, the bike, but my body needs it. I need to move. And so that's one of those things that gets me there, right?
And thank God they created that.
Right. And what if somebody had said, that's a really long song with only 4 words in it. So, but where do you think this is going to go?
Yes.
Here it is.
Who's going to listen to this?
Here it is 40 years later.
Yeah, right? And they're still using it.
They're
Still
still
seeing it in
using
commercials
it.
and
Exactly.
stuff. I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, so, to me, that's how our creativity blesses and transforms the world.
Mm-hmm.
But first we have to allow it.
Right.
We have to create and allow. We have to allow that flow. We have to not stop the flow of God in us, and allow it to express as us. Allow it to come out. You got multiple artists that have painted things that I wouldn't like, that I would do. What is this all about? Some this modern stuff. I'm like, what? But someone else would come and go, oh yeah, I see this. I see that. It would be something for somebody else.
Exactly.
But they won't do.
Right. It'll move somebody somewhere.
Yes.
So like, and you've talked about this before about being a singer. It's like, well, why should I sing? There's so many singers. Because there is a genre that is you.
Yes.
That's yours to do. That's
Myself.
your part. And being somebody who has a different quality and always has in life, right? I've always been different than those around me when I didn't want to be.
Yeah.
So I was too tall, I was too whatever. Now I've kind of, it only took 50 years, but now I've kind of come into that. Like, that is my brand. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
You are correct. You will pick me out. I will be memorable. When we were in Mexico last weekend, I mean, and if you see Dakota and I together, we are a memorable looking couple. I mean, she has hair down to here. You know, I'm like a foot taller and blonde and, you know, so, and pink. Well, I wasn't pink in Mexico. I was just my blonde self. But, you know, but I was in bright colors.
Yeah,
I was in a very bright dress. And so we were on vacation. I just need to preface that. We were eating ice cream on vacation.
Oh, so it's okay.
It's okay.
Got you.
But we were eating ice cream thinking of our next meal. And we saw a taco place across from where we were. And the taco place saw us.
Oh.
And he's like,
Come here.
come here, right? And we're like, we see the sign that says 3 tacos for 99 pesos plus a drink. So it's $5 for 3 tacos and a drink, right? So we're like eating our ice cream going, that's dinner. So, you know, so when we come back later, the guy says, I was the one yelling at you. This is like 5-6 hours later. He's like, I was the one yelling at you earlier, right? And we were like, oh, he remembered us? Like, you know, and then we both looked at each other and we were like, of course he remembered us. Look at us, right? Like, we stand out.
Right.
And there was a time in my life where that would have been so bad for me, standing out. And now I'm like, I embrace it,
Right.
you know, because I stand out because of my creativity. And I'm no longer trying to shrink and fit in. I want to be noticed, and for good things. I don't want to be noticed.
Right.
I don't want to be infamous, right? I don't mind being famous. I just don't want to be
Right.
infamous. But, you know, so it's like about my creativity. That's what I want to stand out in now.
Right, and by doing that, you allow others to do the same. You allow others to see that and say, "Oh, that's how she's doing it, or that's how it's done, or I can do that too." Because you do it, maybe I can have pink hair. I always want to have pink hair, but you know, it's silly. Oh, but Jeannie's doing it. Jeannie does.
You know,
pink
you look
hair.
good in pink hair.
I do.
We'll have to.
I have a wig. I used to have a performance group, and we had these hot pink wigs that were, and I looked good in that wig. I used to think, too bad, you know, people aren't walking around with it. This is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Too bad people aren't walking around with colored hair, because I could sport this all day long. I look good in it. My makeup fit right and everything. Who knew? Who knew I'd be sitting on the sofa with a friend who wears
pink.
I know.
I am bringing last
Sexy
year's
pink
wig.
back.
Yeah, so you can wear your pink wig if you like. Got it's already in the suitcase from last year. Might as well.
That was so funny.
Yeah, that was fun.
That still pops up on their Anson website.
I know.
I'll look at it and go, oh my God, that's me with a big on.
We played each other
We did,
last
that
year on the talent show when a lot of people didn't know what Sofa Sundays was or who we were.
Right.
Now we've changed them. They now know. Here we are.
Yes, that was a lot of creativity. That was
Yes.
our own creativity.
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, I like that I like being aware about our creativity is blessed. Have the card is saying blesses and transforms the world. My husband and I were just talking about he's working on some new business stuff for himself, and I said to him, I said, you know, the reason why this is coming out of you like this is because there's a calling for it. The reason why I think we have a lot of these things is because other people are asking for help in whatever the area is. Then you get the urge to fill that void, to you know, bring that out. You're the answer to that prayer. And so if you stop that and say, well, who am I to do that? Like he was saying, you know, well, I want to make sure I know all this stuff. I said, baby, everybody's always 2 steps ahead of somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
We're all 2 steps ahead of somebody else that needs to just know how to get those next 2 steps in. So yeah, we can go get all kinds of training. And sometimes, I wasn't saying this to him, but I've known from my own past, sometimes I just keep getting training, taking classes, learning it, and never launching, never going. And then eventually it's like, when are we doing this thing?
Right.
You know?
Because there's a point where you have to
You have
jump.
to go.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to jump. I am currently writing a teaching memoir, And so this last week I was in a Hay House training thing and, signed up for the part where I can send my book proposal into them and hopefully they'll take it, right? Yeah. But that was a lot of what they were talking about is that, so many people sign up for this, but as far as how many of the people who have the ability to send in their book proposal is like a small percentage of people who can and don't, because they don't make that jump, and they'll sign back up again and again. And I was like, okay, don't be that person. Don't be that person. Continue to move forward because you're right. You can get all the training in the world. Sometimes it's necessary. I get that, right? Sometimes you need to have the project management certificate to get that job, whatever that is. But I remember when I started my cake business, I had no idea what I was doing. I had a friend come from Delaware who had a cake business who I hadn't seen in like 30 years. She came, she taught me how to make some rosettes. She taught me how to make a fondant choux. And then she was only here like 5 days. And then I started a cake business. And, and it went for 4 years. Yeah. So I had no idea. None. I knew how to bake. That was it. But as far as decorating goes, like I had no concept a lot of the time on what I was doing. I just did what I could with what I had.
Yes.
And it worked. So there, I think a lot of times we wait to have all the credentials and all the paperwork and all this stuff, and then, failure to launch.
Right.
And so I think like jump.
Well, we want it to, in my case, I always want it all perfect before I go
sure.
forward, right? And we already are inherently perfect. You're just already are. You're perfect, whole, complete, in God, that's it. But out here in the world, sometimes it doesn't feel like that. You want to tick off all the boxes. You want to get all your ducks in a row before I do. I need this, I need that, so like with your cake business, I had the same thing with my podcast years ago, right? I launched that during COVID.
Yeah.
And felt like I was reading everything. I was listening to the podcasts. I was writing a lot of stuff. I took a little class about it. I did it, and it was like just forever. It felt like it was forever. And I remember I named the podcast Decide Already because I was talking to myself, like, would you just decide already? Decide already. Are we doing it or not? Because I'm sick of reading stuff, writing stuff, researching. I'm sick of it. I just got sick of myself. Like, when is this going to happen? Or don't do it. Let's go do something else.
Right, because all you're doing then is stressing yourself out.
I know. I'm so frustrated. And then I thought, well, if I were teaching a client this, I would say set a date. And I thought, okay, then set a date. When's my date? When's the first episode going to go out? This is the date. I set the date. And then I created the launch sequence, which was, I took a course about creating a launch sequence. And it was a 30-day launch sequence. So I backed it up 30 days, and that was it. And it happened. I mean, I got, 30-something episodes on there. But that was a time in my life where I was stepping into something I'd never done before. I felt a calling for it, a huge desire to do it. And be creative and just let all that out, everything I need out. But I kept stalling with, well, you should have it like this, and it should look like this. And,
right.
You can't sound like that, and you can't, and then you gotta learn how to, oh my gosh. So it can be stifling if you're constantly doing that. But the thing I learned in that whole process was I did have a bunch of upfront stuff. But honestly, the moment you step into it and you start doing it, it creates itself. And that's what I'll tell clients, I've told my husband, like, sometimes you want your videos to look a certain way. You can't do that. You're comparing yourself to somebody else. You just have to start doing them. And eventually you go, oh, I really like how I started that one when I said X, Y, Z. That's going to be my lead-in now. I'm going to do this every time I start it. Okay. And now you got a lead-in. And then this is how my podcast worked out. I eventually have this whole template because I started doing these certain things over and over that I liked. Oh, I like when I do that. I like when I put a quote right there. I like when and it just started to develop this little podcast template that was mine. It wasn't somebody else's. And there's no way I could have created that had I not stepped into it first. It didn't come to me ahead of time. I had to get in it, mess it up, do whatever, be all over the place. And it started to form itself as I did it. You know, so God says, take the step toward me, take the step for me, I want you to do this. God doesn't always go, and then here's the blueprint, exactly how
Right.
you go.
Here's how you
No.
do it. And it's so funny that you say that. It's like, because I'm just thinking about drive-by blessings. And so I've been doing that since 2020. And one of the things that I now end.
Can you say what that is? So everybody's like, what?
Right. So drive-by blessings is this very tiny, like less than a minute reel that I put out, or I try to put out regularly. That is a blessing while I'm driving, and so
Yes.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I started.
They're really good.
I started on Marco Polo in 2020. I think I went to Facebook last year or this year. I'm not sure. Yeah, but it has been a while. So but in doing it, at the end of it, I always say many blessings today and every day. So that's how I end it. But I don't know when that became my ending.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're saying that came about because I was like, okay, I gotta make these short, blessing things. Sometimes I get, because I can talk. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but I can talk and talk and talk. So for me to be concise and short and poignant in something was hard. I have to be in a car driving. I have to have a short time period. Yeah, from the time I leave my parking lot to the time I get to that first red light, you better be done.
Yeah.
And so that has how that has accumulated, and I have my own page for it. So it's really something I love because it just kind of goes out there. It's just these little things that I share and then they go away, so I love them. So, yeah.
Yeah, and they're very cool. They're really so I feel like if, you find that, you see the quick hit of something that works.
Yeah.
And it did form itself.
It
had
really
a little
did.
calling to do it, and then it started to form its own life, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so many things are going to be like that, but you have to step into it first. You don't get the way to do it up front, which is very frustrating for a perfectionist personality like mine. You don't get that all up front,
Right.
so it can stall you out. But I have learned, and I'm grateful for the podcast and experience I had, that I know now, you have to just go. And the way shows itself. You don't get to see the whole staircase, they say. You take that first step and it reveals itself as you go. That's how it is with most of these things that you want to do that you're stalling about because maybe you don't think all the ducks are in a row, or I don't have you're not going to have it now.
Half the time, honestly, I haven't thought about it more than 3 seconds before I do something. And that can be very frustrating, and ask anybody who has ever lived with me. I will have something come to me. So my daughter was 3 weeks old, maybe 6 weeks old, somewhere in that, and I decided that she needed a college graduate mom. So I don't know what came to my mind that day. It just came to my mind that day. I went down, I signed up for community college, and my husband came home and I said, I have class tonight.
Oh my God.
I enrolled in college that night. We had never discussed it. I had never brought it up. It was just something that came to mind and I went and did.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which was very unlike me at the time period because I didn't do well in school, in high school. It wasn't who I was, I thought.
Right.
But I married someone who loved to read and got me to read. And so then I was like, okay, now I want to do this. And so I just went and did it. And so I think I have been in a class of some way, somehow since, 92. Yeah, so it's been a minute. I'm always trying to learn something. But I have no idea why that hit me that day. And I have things that happen like that. And, people say, well, could we have discussed this? We probably could have, had you been in front of me when I had the thought. We probably could have had a conversation and I wouldn't have bought that car, or whatever it is that I do. But So I think I have the opposite of like what you. I don't have a stall mechanism. I need it, right? I need somebody to say, hey, whoa, wait a minute. That might not be the best idea right now to just go jump and go to school. That is just how I would do things and, purchase things. And I'm a very fly by the seat of my pants type of person. Now, I think because I'm older, things have slowed down because I've had experiences and consequences.
Oh,
right? Like, so I realized, there are consequences for direct actions if you don't think them through. Okay, let's take 10 minutes,
oh my God.
a day, whatever, but really a lot of the things that I've done in my life have come through, it just poking through my mind and says, you know what, this might be a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do it. And it is.
Mm-hmm. Right. I agree with that. I preferred what you're saying to stalling out because then nothing's able to be course corrected.
Mm-hmm.
You almost rather jump in and then course correct if it's not right. Or sometimes we make these leaps, not you particularly, but sometimes we make these leaps from the wrong thinking, from future or past thinking, so we're not really present. So sometimes we need to even just grounding ourselves and saying, okay, wait, what's actually happening? What's my next right move here? And then make that move. But if you're coming from a place of being angry or feeling bad or feeling sad or you're feeling worried or fear, whatever it is, that might not be the one to jump into. But if you're getting a direct calling, a direct nudging, that creative part of you wants to create this or you want to try this or whatever, I say go. I say go, because that's how it forms. That's when it takes form. Not sitting here going, well, I don't know. Let me find the date. What's a date? Or like, I don't know. I can't. No, we need to move boldly in our lives. Like, we're not getting any younger. Like, let's do it. Let's go. Let's jump. Let's take those risks, not risks that are detrimental, but moves where we would normally stall out because we're afraid of, our own success or afraid of what we might be, or I don't know. But it's like, I would rather move and then correct than sit and never have it and never at least go.
I agree. I would rather move and fail than to not have tried. Mm-hmm. And, as an example, Manifesting Cakes, my cake business, 4 years, I don't think we made a dime. I honestly don't. Like, I totally spent more money than I ever made. Yeah, and by the end of it, my body was feeling it because, we were doing it in the kitchen. We were in our home, and I had these concrete tile floors and, my daughter joined me a year in and, Dakota and I sent her to pastry school. So like there was like a lot involved in Manifesting Cakes that didn't manifest at something, right? However, it was such a great experience for both of us in that. And people still ask me, oh, you don't make cakes anymore? Nope, I don't. Yeah, nope.
And move.
And I got rid of most of my stuff too, and I can recommend a good baker for you. But it ain't me. But it was such an amazing experience and some of these cakes took me 12 to 18 hours. I could never make money because I could never charge people what I should have been making, right? Like that, because it wasn't something that I was proficient at that point, but it was so creative and so much fun. And there would be time periods, that I would be crying. Like it wasn't going the way it was supposed to go, and I have to get rid of it after spending 8 hours.
Well, you made their 6th birthday.
I did. I just, you know what?
It was amazing because it was a twins cake.
Yes.
Half Spider-Man.
Well, it was half superheroes.
Yes.
And half like Disney princess.
Oh, yes.
I remember there was that one, like the different.
You had the jumpy
princes.
Remember?
I remember.
She made that cake for you.
And, you know, so like just different things like that. They had so much fun and so much creativity. Like I made one that looked like somebody's cat, right? Like I remember that one, and like trying to figure out
Put fur on it.
well, like carving for that, but whiskers, like to do the whiskers, figuring out what type of Asian noodle would do that. Like so it's like a rice noodle type thing that was able. So just different things that I learned, you know, throughout the time period. It was fun and it was an experience, and I'm glad I had it. And would I do it again? No. Just like jumping out of an airplane. It was fun. It was a great experience. Glad I had it. Would I do it again? No. There are a lot of things that I can say that I made these decisions, but would I do it again? No. But I'm glad I did
But
it.
you got out of what you.
Yeah.
It no longer needs to be.
Exactly. It no longer needs to be expressed through me as me. I am no longer.
It's complete.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right. That I brought that through and out, and I'm complete. With
And
it.
you got what you were supposed to get out of it. You
Mhm.
learned from that whatever was supposed to be yours, and you benefited a lot of people making their beautiful cakes.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I feel like you can't. Don't dismiss the things that we've all done that maybe we don't need to do now, because we always are growing and learning and evolving through our experiences, and we help other people as well in whatever they need. So I think that's,
I think that's important to realize and remember. Just because it was part of your story at some point doesn't mean it needs to be now.
Yeah, it's
But
okay
if you-
to stop it. If you
yeah,
know
it's
you're
okay
done,
to
it's
stop.
complete,
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah.
Instead, I think I learned once it started to feel like work, and I already had a full-time job. Like, and it's funny I say that because, you know, the 12 to 18 hours and crying and destroying and stuff didn't feel like work.
So,
It was about the creativity. It was about the love. It was about, you know, every time I made a cake, the blessing that I put into it. But once it became work-like, then I was like, I don't want to do it.
right.
You know.
Yeah,
Once
it's
I was-
miserable.
Yeah. Once I wasn't receiving enough money for it, but once I wasn't receiving that part that fed my soul either,
Mhm.
no, we can be done.
Right. Exactly.
You know, you have to have something.
Right.
You know, because it is a law of circulation. That is the one thing I wanted to say about creativity. As we bring our creativity out into the world and allow that to circulate, that enables and helps others to circulate through creativity. So that is a giving and receiving. And if you are no longer receiving the benefit of a particular creative endeavor that you have, then maybe it's time to move it somehow, some way, some form, right? There's got to be something else that needs to happen. And I've kind of been in that space probably for a couple of years, like seeing what works, what doesn't, you know, as I'm going to churches speaking, as I'm doing workshops, as we do Sofa Sundays, as, you know, I'm writing, as I'm creating holy shift cards, as I'm doing drive-by blessings. Like, I have a lot of little fires in the irons in the fire.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, fires in the irons or irons in the fire. I have a lot of little things happening because I felt them bubble up, and I'm like, oh, let's give this a shot. You know, let's see where we go with this. You know, and I'm not saying all of them are going to be some, but they're all feeding me right now.
Right.
They feed other people too.
Right.
Right.
You know, somebody sees something like that and then they say, wow, I want to try that.
Yeah.
Or you don't even know what you do for other people when you inspire them by the things that you do.
Linda says you don't even know what you do for other people when you inspire them.
Yes.
Yes.
Did I get it wrong?
Yes.
Right. You don't know. And you may never know. You may never know. But
They come back to you again
Mhm.
and they say, wow, you know that 2 years ago or 10 years ago, you inspired me to do this.
Yes.
And now look at me. I have
Yes.
my own business.
Mhm.
I love what I do.
Mhm.
You some people you'll never come back to you again and tell you.
Right.
You
They'll
know,
never
I mean,
see you
it's
again. They might
amazing.
only see you for a second and
It's
just something
amazing.
happens.
But
Right.
all those little things that you do and the things that you're throwing out there, they love it. I'm telling you, it's beautiful
It is.
and it works for everyone,
That's right.
especially for you.
Yes.
And And it's
Thank
so,
you,
it's so
yeah.
important. It's so important to let that creativity flow.
Yeah.
Benefits our world, blesses and transforms our world, the card says. And I believe it.
There we go. And that's how and I do think that's how our world will transform,
Yes.
right? Is through the creativity, because we are not solving the world the way it used to be, right? We're not bringing the love, we're not bringing the peace in the same way that it used to be, right? Some of us are still wearing bras, we're not burning them. I'm just saying, the protests are a little different, the peace marches are a little different, the things we do are a little different than they were in the 60s or 70s. So now, let's think of that, right? So how are we bringing that forth with our voices to bless others? And I know that in my world of form and in my friendships, we do a lot more energetic things versus non-energetic. I don't want to say it like that because I think everything's energy, but a movement of energy, a blessing of energy, things like sound baths, things like concerts, things that are like prayer and meditation and just sacred movement of the energy, a lot more so than previous time periods, So I see a lot more of that, and I feel a lot more of that, being able to, I know for myself, like I was talking about the pump up the jam thing, that's a way that, my vibration moves, right, to get me moving. When I feel stuck energy in my body, I drum, right? We have drums at the house. I just start smacking. There is no rhythm to my drumming. I will tell you this right now. I'm just smacking it away. It works for me. Right. This is for me. Recently got a rain stick at a yard sale. Love that sound. Just different things that allow me to bring it out and flow it out when I don't know what to do. One of the things that happened this last week is my cat of 15 years passed, and I was so very sad. And so that day I cleaned, right? I cried and I cleaned. Because that is how grief was moving in me that day, and it was definitely about that awareness of knowing the energy and the flow of where I was going in that. So I would cry and I'd do dishes, and I would cry and I'd sweep the floor, and I would just do these things to move the energy out. And I think we're in a world today that people are becoming more attuned to moving the energy through them and out, and blessing the energy around them.
Right. Yeah. And the creativity is oftentimes for yourself first. The problem with that, though, is that we don't realize that, we don't think that way. We think it's for everybody else. And we wonder how they're going to take it, how they're going to receive it, if they'll like it, will it be okay, will anybody say anything and then, but it actually comes through you. So it comes from within. It's yours first. So hitting on a drum and it's not, the rhythm isn't for anybody else but yourself. Right. If somebody else will there's plenty of musicians that I don't like the music they make, but they have a following. People are liking the music they make, and they're for them, but they made it for themselves. It came out, it was theirs first. So make the music, make the case, make the song, make the podcast or the talk, whatever you're doing, the painting, the solution for an answer for something, just do that. And it doesn't matter if other people like it or not. But I guarantee you someone's going to like it. Someone somewhere is going to like it. And you may have the same people not like it. And you have to say, well, it wasn't for you. It was for me. And if it doesn't benefit for you, then pass it on and go get something else. And if it's benefiting you, I'm so happy it helped you too.
Yeah.
But allow it to be what it is, because I think we rob the collective when we don't. We rob ourselves and the collective when we block that, when we stop it, when we second guess it and question it. You know, so I think in my age and what I think about when I look at, especially working with my husband building a new business and thinking about the things that we could do and the fears around putting yourself there or trying something, you know, but I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to step boldly and strongly and I'll course correct if need be. But this is something that we want to do that feeds us first, and the others that it belongs to will come.
Exactly.
And we have to be okay with whoever it's not for.
At 65, I'm still putting it out there.
Yes,
Amen.
I hope for our
Exactly.
whole lives. I hope
Yeah.
for our whole lives.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
I hope for our whole lives that we
Yeah.
continue to put that out there. I don't think I can ever stop, you know, the beingness of that. And one of the things I wrote down about the circulation of good is your art, your ideas, your expression. Keep divine energy moving in the universe.
Yes, don't
So
stop it.
that's the biggest thing, right? Like the creativity that is the divine can only come out through you.
Yeah.
It's not getting out, you know, it's not like the chipmunks are coming in and paint.
No,
I
sorry,
mean,
it's-
Good deal if they do. However, right? Like it's only coming out through you. So whatever yours is to give, you know, don't second guess it. Just do it. No, that's where Nike got that from.
there you go. Just do it already. Come on, you just do it.
Decide
So
already.
frustrating.
I
What
know.
are you doing?
And
Yeah.
and most of the time we sit here on the sofa talking to ourselves. So just
always,
so you
because
we
it comes
are
to us
talking
first.
about us. Yes.
Talk about us. Comes to us first.
Talking about
Yeah,
us.
so there's somewhere that if something's popping in your mind right now where you're like, well, I have this thing. Well, there's that one thing I'm not doing. Yeah, just go write it down and let's get going. If you need prayer support, reach out. But yeah, let's get going. That's all. Like, just we have a whole world of stuff going on, and a lot of stuff a lot of us don't like. Well, you know what? There's a lot of stuff that we could do about that.
Mm-hmm.
Just be your creative, fabulous, loving, amazing being. Do your part. Do your thing. Let the ripple effect happen. And let's make this world a better place.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
it's that time.
Sometime, boys and girls, would you like to pray us out?
I will.
All right. Do you have anything on that? Anything else?
No, I just was
Okay.
taking notes on everything.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I
We love
really
having
happy.
people take notes.
I have lots of notes on some good things that
Oh,
I've had, and I'm here to experience this because I have some great notes.
Love
I
it.
always need them.
Oh, good.
So
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for being here.
So in this sacred container of creativity that we are, that is the divine, I know that this time together has been blessed. That each of us has received and given exactly what it was that we needed. And as we go from here, I know that each person we encounter, whether it be at the grocery store or in a class or on the airplane tomorrow morning, that as we are engaged in this life, we bring blessings to others. And this is the truth of the divine creative energy that is us. And for that, I am so grateful. I'm grateful for this time together. I'm grateful that we are divine creative force in motion. So I let it go, I call it good, and together we say, and so it is.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
So if you were fed here today and you would like to find out how you can support us, please go to beginwithinministries.com. And if you'd like to make a financial donation, you can, a one-time, or you can become a Spiritual Church Club partner for $45 a month or $75 for a couple or family. And that gets you into our classes for free. If
Yeah,
Michelle
our workshop
arrives,
this afternoon.
we have a workshop
Yeah.
this afternoon. If it also gets you our lunch shot. You know, and it helps continue this ministry. there are other ways that you can also support us. And like and share and subscribe on YouTube. Join us on Facebook at the Sofa Sundays group, where we will be going live next week and sharing Unity Village with you. So just be a part of, and we are so grateful you're here today. And do you have anything?
No, that's it.
All right, good.
Excited.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.